The wrath call tore through space like a black blade cutting the dark. It dropped from warp with a silent flash, its massive engines flaring blue as it slowed into normal space. Around it, stars blinked cold and distant. Ahead, in the middle of a quiet asteroid belt, something floated silent, ancient, shaped like a broken spine wrapped in rust-colored metal. On the bridge of the alien warship, Commander Zorvik sat high on a curved seat made of bone-like material. His skin was gray-green, his eyes large and yellow, always scanning. He looked at the object on the main screen and frowned. "What is that?" he asked, voice deep and slow. Dal, his first officer, stood beside him, fingers dancing over a glowing panel. "Scanning now, Commander," the machine hummed. Lines of alien text scrolled fast across the screen. Dal read them carefully. "It's a ship," he said. "Human origin. Designation, Daguk. Built in the Sol system, age estimated at 1,000 years. Zorvik let out a sharp laugh. 1,000 years? That thing looks older than dirt. How did it even get here? Did the humans push it? More laughter rose from the crew. They leaned over their stations, pointing at the image. To them, the Daguk looked wrong, too thick, too rough. Its surface was covered in strange lines and patterns like scars. It had no visible weapons, no energy trails, no lights. Just silence. "It's not moving," Dal said. "No power readings. No life signs. It's just floating. Then it's dead," Zorvak said. "Like the humans who built it. I heard they destroyed themselves long ago. Burned their world. Died in the ashes?" "Yes," Dal replied. "Their species fell before our empire even began." Zorvik leaned forward. "And now we find their grave marker drifting in the dark." "How poetic." He smiled, showing sharp teeth. "Send a probe. Let's see what kind of junk these weak creatures left behind." Inside the silent hulk of the Daguk, nothing moved. Dust coated every surface. Wires hung like vines from cracked ceilings. The air was still, cold, untouched for centuries, but deep below the surface, in the heart of the ship, something pulsed out. It was small, a soft blue glow beneath layers of metal and biogel. A single node, shaped like a seed, flickered once. Then again. Slowly, it began to grow brighter. Nearby, 6 cryopods lined a dark chamber. Ice clung to their glass lids. Inside, shapes could barely be seen, human forms frozen in time. One by one, lights on the pods blinked red. Then green. A sound like a sigh filled the room. Steam hissed from the bases. The glass lids cracked open with a soft pop. Captain Jin was the first to wake. His body jerked. His eyes snapped open black, sharp, full of fire. He gasped, sucking in cold air. His hands gripped the edges of the pod. Every muscle burned. His mind raced, trying to remember. Where am I? How long? Then it came back, the war, the fire, Earth burning. The last order from High Command. Sleep, wake, survive. He turned his head slowly. One by one, the others were waking. Ha coughed, sitting up fast. Her short black hair stuck to her forehead. She looked around, confused but alert. Tay groaned. "Ooh, my bones feel like glass." Myra was already standing, wiping frost from her face. "We're alive. That's something." Jin stepped out of the pod, legs shaking. He walked to a nearby console, wiped dust away, and pressed a button. Nothing happened. He tried again. Harder, a spark. Then a flicker. A single line of text appeared on the cracked screen. "System reboot initiated. Core online." Jin exhaled. "Good. You're still alive too." Back on the Vrathkal, the probe reached the Daguk. It hovered near the hull, scanning with tiny beams of light. Data poured back to the alien ship. DAEL, read the results. Hull is made of an unknown alloy. Self-repairing at a molecular level. Internal structure shows organic components, living circuits. This isn't just metal. It's part machine, part life. Zorvik raised an eyebrow. Living machines? Impossible. But the data is clear, Dao said. This ship heals itself, and there are faint energy pulses inside. Very weak. Like a heartbeat. Zorvik laughed again. A heartbeat? That old wreck? Don't tell me you think it's alive. I'm saying it's not dead, Dao said quietly. Not fully. Zorvik stood up. Then it doesn't matter. Even if it wakes, it's 1,000 years behind us. We have plasma cannons, gravity bombs, warp drives. What does this relic have? Rust and memories? He turned to the comms officer. Open a channel. Let's say hello to the ghosts. On the Dagak, alarms blared. Incoming signal. Tay shouted, pulling on a worn jacket. Alien source? Strong transmission. Jin nodded. Put it on screen. The main view screen flickered to life. At first snow. Then a face dotted with Zorvik. His yellow eyes glowed. Behind him, the alien crew watched, smirking. This is Commander Zorvik of the Vraxel Dominion. The voice boomed, heavy and mocking. You are in forbidden space. Identify yourself or be destroyed. Silence on the human ship. Jin stepped forward. He didn't smile. Didn't blink. This is Captain Jin of the United Earth Remnant. The Dagak is under my command. We mean no harm. We are passing through. Zorvik tilted his head. United Earth Remnant? That nation died 1,000 winters ago. Your planet is ash. Your people are dust. Who are you really? We're what's left, Jin said. We slept. Now we wake. A pause. Then Zorvik burst into laughter. The whole bridge shook with it. Slept? In that tomb? You expect me to believe you've been frozen for 1,000 years? Look at your ship. It's falling apart. You don't have the tech to survive cryosleep that long. Jin stayed calm. We do. And we did. Zorvik wiped a tear from his eye. Oh, this is rich. A bunch of scavengers found an old museum piece and decided to play captain. How cute. Hay clenched her fists. They don't believe us. They don't need to, Jin said. They only need to fear us later. Back on the Vrath call, Dal studied the human ship more closely. Commander, he said, their biosigns are stable. Their vitals match human records. But they shouldn't be alive. No species can survive that long in cryo without brain damage. Yet they woke clean, fast, strong. Zorvik waved a hand. Primitive biology doesn't matter. We crush primitives every day. But their ship, Dal insisted, it has technology we don't understand. The hull absorbed our scan beams, reflected them back at half strength. That's not possible with old tech. So what? Zorvik snapped. Even if it's tough, it's slow. No weapons fire. No shields. No warp drive. It can't fight. It can't run. It's just a big rock with delusions. He turned to the weapons officer. Fire a warning shot. Hit the asteroid next to them. Let them know we're serious. The officer nodded. A cannon on the side of the Vrath call glowed red dot, then dash boom dot. A beam of hot plasma shot across space. It struck a large asteroid near the Dagak. The rock exploded in a bright flash of light and heat. On the human ship, everyone felt the shockwave. Lights flickered. Dust fell from the ceiling. Tay slammed his hand on the wall. They just blew up a mountain. Are you kidding me? Mara checked the sensors. No direct hit. But that blast was powerful. If it had hit us, we'd be gone, Hay finished. Jin looked at the screen. Zorvik's face was gone. The channel was closed. They think we're weak, Jin said. They think because we come from the past, we belong to it. So what do we do? Tay asked. Run, hide. Jin walked to the central control hub. He placed his hand on a round panel. It lit up under his palm blue warm. No, he said. We show them why humans built this ship. Not to run. Not to hide. He looked at his crew. We show them why we survived. The panel beeped. A voice, soft and deep, spoke from the walls. Core online. Neural net active. Weapons locked. Welcome back, Captain. Lights surged through the ship. Long dead corridors lit up. Fans spun.
The air inside the Dagguk tasted like rust and old sweat. Jin stood up. His legs shook. He gripped the edge of the chair to keep from falling. Around him the others moved slowly like people waking from a dream they didn't want to leave. Hay was the first to speak. "We're alive," she said. It wasn't a question. It was a fact. Like the sky was blue, like water was wet, Tay laughed, a short, sharp sound. "Yeah, and we're stuck on a ghost ship with a bunch of aliens who think we're trash." Mira didn't laugh. She was staring at a screen that showed the alien ship, the Vrathkal, still floating there, proud and loud and full of noise. Its engines glowed blue. Its weapons pulsed. It was beautiful, powerful, perfect, and it didn't know a thing. Hay walked to the wall and pressed her palm against it. The metal warmed under her fingers. A soft hum rose from below, not loud, not angry, just, "There, the core," she whispered. "It's still running. Not like a machine. Like a heart." Jin looked at her. "You said it would die." "I said it might," she replied. "I didn't say it would." She turned to the others. "We were built to last. Not just to fly. Not just to fight, to live. Even when no one was left to watch." Tay scratched his head. "So we're a robot? A machine with a soul?" "No," Mira said. "We're a memory. And memories don't die. They just wait." Jin walked to the main console. The screen was cracked. The symbols were faded. But when he touched it, the words came back. Slow, like a tired man speaking after a long silence. Dagguk-class vessel, United Earth Remnant Fleet. Mission, survival. Protocol Phoenix. Status, dormant. He didn't know what Phoenix meant. But he knew what survival meant. He turned to Hay. "Can we fly?" She nodded. "Not like before. Not fast, not far. But we can move. We can fight. If we have to," Tay grinned. "Good. Because I don't want to die in a tomb." Mira pulled up an old log. A voice crackled from the speakers. A woman's voice, calm and tired. "This is Captain Lee, final transmission. If you are hearing this, you are the ones who woke up. You are not the first. You will not be the last. The stars are not kind, but we are stubborn. Build, sleep, wake, repeat. That is our way." The voice ended. Silence. Jin looked at the others. She knew we'd wake up. She knew someone would, Mira said. Hay walked to the engine room. The others followed. The hallway was dark. The walls were covered in vines. Not real vines, but thin metal threads that grew like roots curling around pipes and wires. They pulsed faintly like veins. "This isn't metal," Hay said. "It's alive." Tay touched one. It twitched. "Whoa," he whispered. "It's breathing." "It was grown," Mira said. "From human cells. From DNA, from hope. They didn't just build this ship. They made it." Like a child, Jin stared at the glowing threads. "So we're not flying a ship?" "No," Hay said. "We're riding a living thing." They went deeper. Past broken pods. Past walls covered in names. Hundreds of them carved into the metal with knives, with fingers, with tears. Some names were old. Some were fresh. Some were written in languages no one spoke anymore. One name stood out. Jin Hayok. Jin stopped. He looked at it. That was his father's name. His father had been the engineer who helped build the Dagguk. He had volunteered to sleep in cryo. He had said, "Someone has to stay awake for the future." Jin touched the name. "I didn't know he was here." Hay put a hand on his shoulder. He's still here. The engine room was huge, bigger than any room Jin had ever seen. In the center, glowing with soft white light, was the core. It looked like a heart made of glass and silver. It beat slowly. In and out. In and out, it was warm. Hay placed her hand on it. It's not powered by fuel, she said. It's powered by time, by memory, by the will of the people who built it. Tay looked around. So, what happens if we turn it on? It wakes up, she said. Like a person. Mira pulled up a screen. The aliens are talking. They're planning to board us, Jin turned. Why? Because they think it's empty, she said. They think it's dead. They think they can take it, use it, sell it, or burn it, Tay grinned. Then let's let them come. Jin looked at the core. He looked at the names on the wall. He thought of his father. He thought of the woman's voice on the recording. He thought of all the people who had slept here not because they were afraid, but because they believed someone would wake up. He turned to Hay. Turn it on. She nodded. She reached into the wall, pulled out a thin cord, like a vein, and pulled it free. The core flared. Light exploded through the room. The walls shivered. The metal vines twitched, then stretched, then moved. The ship groaned, not like something breaking, like something waking up. Outside on the Vrath Kal, alarms began to sound. Dial rushed to the main screen. Commander, the derelict, it's reacting. Zorvak stood up. What do you mean reacting? The hull. It's changing. The sensors can't read it anymore. It's like, it's alive, Zorvak laughed. Don't be foolish. It's a machine. Machines don't breathe. But then the lights on the Daguk turned on, one by one, all over its surface. Not bright, not loud, just enough like candles in a dark house. The Vraxel crew fell silent. They're turning on the lights, Dell whispered. Why? Zorvak frowned. Maybe they're scared. Maybe they're trying to signal for help. But they didn't answer our message, Dale said. No, Zorvak said. They didn't. He walked to the window. He stared at the ship. The Daguk was still silent, still slow, still old, but now it was watching. He felt something he had never felt before, not fear, not anger, something worse, uncertainty. Inside the Daguk, the lights were steady now. The air was warmer. The metal under their feet felt alive. Hai looked at Jin. The ship is awake, but it's not ready. Not yet, Jin said. Mira pulled up a new screen. The aliens are lowering a boarding pod. They're coming, Tay smiled. Good, I was getting bored. Jin walked to the control chair. He sat down. He placed his hands on the armrests. The metal warmed under his fingers. He looked at the others. We don't have weapons like theirs, he said. We don't have speed. We don't have shields, he paused. But we have something they don't. What? Tay asked. Jin looked out the window, at the tiny pod drifting toward them. We have time. Hai nodded. And we have memory, Mira whispered. And we have the will. Tay cracked his knuckles. Then let's show them what happens when you wake up a sleeping giant. The boarding pod touched the hull. A soft thump, then silence. The Vraxil soldiers stepped out. 4 of them, tall, armored, weapons glowing. They moved like they owned the world. They didn't know they were walking into a grave. They didn't know the grave was alive. The first soldier reached for the airlock. He pressed the button. Nothing happened. He pressed it again. Still, nothing. He looked at his partner. Is it broken? The second soldier shrugged. Maybe the humans broke it before they died. They tried again. The airlock clicked, slowly, loudly, and then it opened. The soldiers stepped inside. The hallway was dark. The walls were warm. The air smelled like earth. The first soldier took a step forward, and then the lights came on. Not bright, not loud, just enough to see, and what they saw made them stop. The walls were covered in names, hundreds of them, all written by human hands. And in the center of the hallway, standing still, was a man. Jin. He wore old clothes. His face was tired. His eyes were clear. He did not raise his weapon. He did not speak. He just looked at them, and behind him, in the shadows, 3 more figures stepped out. Haiti, Mira. They didn't move. They didn't threaten. They just stood. The Vraxil soldiers froze. One of them whispered, Are you alive? Jin nodded. Yes, the soldier raised his weapon. Then you're trespassing. Jin looked at him. We built this ship, he said, 1,000 years ago. The soldier blinked. That's impossible. Jin smiled. Just a little. Then you don't know much about humans. Behind him, the walls began to glow, the metal vines twisted, the floor trembled, the air turned warm, and then the ceiling opened. Not with a crash, not with noise, but like a flower opening. And from above, something dropped. Not a weapon, not a bomb, a single hand made of metal and skin. It reached down and touched the soldier's helmet. The soldier screamed, not from pain, from fear, because the hand held his name, written in old human letters. Vorlak, born in the third cycle, died on the bridge of the Vraxil Dawn. The soldier stared. He had never been to Earth. He had never met a human, but he knew that name. Because it was his grandfather's name. His grandfather had been lost on 100 years ago. In a battle against a human ship, they had called it a myth, a story, a lie. Now, it was real. The hand closed. The lights went out. The airlock slammed shut. The Vraxil soldiers were gone. Inside the Daguk, no one spoke. Hai looked at Jin. You knew? Jin nodded. I remembered, Mira whispered. The ship, it remembered them too. Tay looked at the sealed airlock. So, we didn't kill them. No, Jin said. The ship did. He turned to the core. It was glowing brighter now.
The Wrath call floated in silence, smoke curling from its broken engine pod. Lights flickered on its bridge. Alarms wailed like wounded animals. Crew members ran back and forth, shouting in their sharp, clicking language. One held a bleeding arm. Another tried to restart the damaged shield generator. Zorvik sat in his command chair, his face pale beneath gray skin. His fingers gripped the arms of the seat so hard they left marks. He stared at the screen, empty space, dark stars. No sign of the enemy, but he knew they were there, dot somewhere, dot watching, dot being, dot first. Now he was the one being mocked. Report, he growled. Dao, standing beside him, rayed from his console with shaking hands. Engine 3 destroyed. Shields down to 32%. Life support stable. For now. We are losing power fast. Zorvik turned his head slowly. How? How did they hit us? We saw nothing, felt nothing, until it was too late. Dal swallowed. Their weapon? It was not energy-based. No heat, no light. It was kinetic. Solid mass, moving at extreme speed. They fired something that hit like a star falling. Zorvik stood up. That's impossible. Nothing moves that fast without leaving a trail. But it did, Dal said quietly. And it came from that ship. The old one. The dead one. Silence fell over the bridge. No one spoke. They all thought the same thing. We made a mistake. On the Daguk, Tay leaned back in his seat. One shot. Clean hit. I'd say that got their attention. Hey, check the sensors. They're scanning again. Stronger this time. Trying to lock on. Myra watched the data flow across her screen. But they're afraid. Their heart rates are up. Adrenaline high. They didn't expect to be hurt. Jin stood by the main view screen. His face showed nothing. Not pride. Not anger. Just calm. They thought we were weak, he said. Now they know we are not. But knowing is not understanding, Tay frowned. What do you mean? I mean, Jin said, they still don't know what this ship really is. Back on the Wrath call, Zorvik paced. Send a hail. Open channel. I want to speak to them, Dal hesitated. Commander, after what happened, they could fire again, and if we do nothing, they will destroy us. Zorvik stopped. I need to see their face. I need to know who I am dealing with. The signal went out. A moment later, Jin's face appeared on the Wrathcall's main screen. Calm, tired, but strong. "This is Captain Jin," he said. "You fired on us first." We responded. "If you leave now, no further action will be taken." Zorvik stepped forward. "You think you've won? You hit us once. That does not make you strong." "No," Jin said. "It makes me clear. We did not attack. You did. We defended. That is all. You are relics." Zorvik shouted. "Your ship should not even work. You should be dead." Jin looked at him. "And yet, here we are." The line cut. Zorvik turned to Dal. "Find their weakness. Scan every frequency. Look into their history. There must be records. Something." Dal worked fast. He pulled up ancient data from deep galactic archives. Old files. Forgotten wars. Lost civilizations. Then he found it. A file labeled in broken English. Project Phoenix, Final Fleet, Daggett-class vessels. He opened it. Images appeared. Blueprints. Star maps. Weapon specs. His eyes widened. "Commander," he whispered. "Look at this." Zorvik came close. The screen showed Earth long before the fall. Cities lit at night. Ships in orbit. A flag with strange symbols. Then plans for the Daggett. Words like self-repairing hull, neural AI, zero-point core, rail spike launchers, Sunford Juray, and a note at the bottom. Built to survive the end. Built to return when needed. Dal pointed at the date. It says, "Construction completed 1,012 years ago?" Zorvik stared. "That can't be right." "It is," Dal said. "This ship, it was built before our empire rose. Before my people learned to write. And they were already using weapons we have not even dreamed of." Zorvik felt cold. All his life, he had been taught that the Vraxel were the strongest. The smartest. The most advanced. Now, he saw proof that someone else had reached those heights long before, and then simply walked away. "They weren't weak," Dal said. "They were waiting." Zorvik's voice dropped. "Then why did they sleep?" "Maybe," Dal said, "because there was nothing worth fighting for." Back on the Daggett, he found something strange. "Captain," she called. "I found an old log. From the last captain." Before cryosleep, Jin came over. She played the recording. An old man's voice, tired but proud, filled the room. "This is Captain Rowe of the Daggett. Final entry. Earth is gone. The war ended in fire. We are the last fleet. We cannot win. We cannot stay. So we run. We hide. We sleep. We wait. Not for revenge. Not for conquest. But for the day when the galaxy forgets fear. When new species rise and ask not for blood, but for peace. If you are hearing this, the wait is over. Do not be angry. Do not be cruel. Be human." The message ended. No one spoke. Tay wiped his eyes. "So we weren't just hiding. We were protecting something. Hope," Myra said softly. Jin looked at the crew. "Our mission was never to fight. It was to remember. To show the universe that even after death, life returns." Outside, the Wrathcall powered up its warp drive. "They're leaving," Hay said. Jin nodded. "Good," but Tay frowned. "Just like that? After everything they said? They get to run?" "They learned," Jin said. "That is enough," but Myra shook her head. "No, they haven't. Look." She pointed to the screen. The Wrathcall wasn't jumping to warp. It was turning. Its weapons were charging. It was aiming straight at the Daggett. "They're going to fire." Hay said. Jin didn't move. "Let them." Tay turned. "What?" "They're going to kill us." "No," Jin said. "They're going to try." The Wrathcall fired. A massive plasma beam, brighter than a small sun, shot across space. aimed right at the heart of the Daegek. The crew braced, but Jin stayed still. The beam came closer, then it bent out, not blocked, not reflected, bent out like light around a black hole. The ship's biohull shimmered. The air around it twisted. The energy curved around the Daegek and vanished into space. No damage, no burn, nothing. On the wrath call, Dal screamed. Impossible. Their shields shouldn't stop that. Zorvik roared. Fire again. Fire everything. More beams, missiles, pulse blasts. All of them curved. All of them missed. Because the Daegek was not using normal shields. It used gravity control. It bent space around itself, like a stone in a river. The attacks flowed around it. Inside the Daegek, Tay laughed. They're wasting ammo. Hay smiled. They don't understand. We're not just stronger. We're different. Myra looked at the alien ship. They're panicking. Jin stood up. Now they learn. He opened the comms. This is Captain Jin. You have attacked a vessel under Earth's protection. You have harmed no one, but you have shown your true nature. Arrogant, violent, afraid of what you do not understand. Zorvik yelled. You are nothing. Old meat in a dead ship. And yet, Jin said, we stand. You fired your best, and it did nothing. We did not fire back. We did not destroy you. Why? Silence, because we choose mercy, Jin said. Leave now. Tell your people what you saw. Tell them that humanity slept, that we built wonders before your kind learned to speak, that we woke not for war, but for peace. He paused. If you return with hate, we will answer. Not with anger, but with truth. The comms closed. For a long time, the Wraith call floated. Then, slowly, it turned. Engines flared. It jumped to warp. Gone. The crew of the Daegek exhaled. Tay grinned. We scared them off. Hay looked at Jin. Do you think they'll tell the truth? Some will, Jin said. Others will call it lies. But it doesn't matter. The galaxy will hear. And one day,
The ship remembers. They didn't say it like it was magic. They said it like it was true. And it was. In the deep halls of the Daeguk, where the walls were warm to the touch, and the lights glowed like slow breaths, the ship was waking up, not just its machines, but something deeper, something older. Had walked through the lower corridors alone. Her boots echoed softly. The air smelled like wet metal, and something sweet, like burnt sugar left too long on a stove. She touched the wall as she passed. It pulsed once, gently, under her fingers. She smiled. She remembered the training logs, how the scientists had said the hull was grown from human tissue mixed with nanometal, how they had taken skin cells from volunteers, shaped them with lasers, and fed them with energy until they became alive steel. Not just armor, not just metal, a living thing that healed, that learned, that felt. She pressed her palm flat against the wall again. Are you okay? She whispered. The wall warmed, just a little. Back in the command room, Mira sat before a glowing screen, scrolling through files no one had opened in 1,000 years. Some were damaged, some were faded, but one file stood out. It was labeled, Final Broadcast, Earth Day, 3/142. She pressed play. A woman's voice filled the room. Calm, tired, but full of love. This is Dr. Lee, Chief Scientist of Project Phoenix. If you're hearing this, you're not alone. We didn't build the Daeguk to win a war. We built it because we knew we'd lose. Earth was dying. The sky was burning. The last cities were silent. We had one choice, run or die with our home. A pause. The woman wiped her eyes. We chose to run, not in fear, but in hope. She looked into the camera. We are not sending this to be remembered. We are sending this to be forgotten until the time is right. Another pause. Then softly, if you are listening, you are not the first. You will not be the last. We are still here. In the silence, in the dark, in the ships that sleep, in the stars that wait. The screen went black. Mira sat still. She didn't cry, but her hands trembled. Tay walked in, holding 2 cups of warm water. He handed one to her. "You okay?" he asked. She nodded. "I just heard my great-great-grandmother." Tay sat down. She knew we'd wake up. She knew someone would. Jin entered. He didn't sit. He stood by the window looking out at the stars. "We have to tell them," he said. "Tell who?" Tay asked. "The ones who are still out there." Mira looked up. "You mean the other ships?" Yem nodded. There were 12 Degok-class vessels. We were the last, but we weren't the only ones. Hay came in, still holding her hand against the wall as she walked. "I felt something," she said. "A signal, faint, like a heartbeat. Coming from Sector Kappa 7, Jin turned. "How long ago?" 3 minutes. It's repeating, every 2.7 seconds. Silence. Tay swallowed. "You think one of the others is awake?" "Or waking," Jin said. They all looked at each other. No one laughed. No one joked. Because this wasn't about weapons. This wasn't about revenge. This was about family, and family doesn't stay lost forever. Jin sat down. He opened the main console, typed slowly, carefully, like a man praying. He didn't send a message. He sent a song, a simple tone, low, steady. 3 pulses, then a pause, then 3 more. It was the same signal the Daeguk had used 1,000 years ago to call the others, a lullaby for lost ships. They waited. Minutes passed. Then a reply, faint, broken. But there, 3 pulses, then a pause, then 3 more. Same rhythm, same song. Hay gasped. "It's real." Mira's eyes filled with tears. "It's from Kappa 7. It's Daeguk 7. Jin stood up. "Then we go to them." Tay looked at him. "You mean we leave now? After everything? After the aliens?" Jin looked out the window again. "They tried to destroy us," he said. "And we didn't destroy them. We showed them who we were. Now we go to the others. We don't fight. We wake them up." Hay nodded. "The ship is ready. Power core is stable. Biohull is healing fast. We can make the jump." Mira wiped her eyes. "Do you think they're still alive?" Jin didn't answer right away. Then he said, "We'll find out." The Daeguk turned. Its engines glowed blue, not loud, not bright, but strong, like a heart starting to beat again. It moved slowly at first, then faster. The stars outside turned into streaks of light. They were going to Kappa 7, no weapons armed, no shields raised, just the ship and the song and the hope. 3 hours passed. The stars grew quiet. Then, there, shape, dark, broken, covered in ice and dust. It floated like a corpse, but it wasn't dead. Its hull was cracked. 1 wing was gone. The name on its side was barely visible. Daeguk 7, Jin ordered the ship to stop. No hail, no threat, no demand, just silence. They waited, though Daeguk 7 did not move. Then all single light he blinked. On its side, 1 pulse, then another, then a third. The same song. Tay whispered, "It's alive." Hay pressed her hand to the wall. "It's calling." Jin opened the comms. He didn't speak. He just played the song again. 3 pulses, pause, 3 pulses, and then, from the Daeguk 7, a voice came, weak, cracked, like a radio with no power. It was a woman's voice. Is this the Daegok? Jin closed his eyes. Yes, he said. It is. A long silence, then. Thank God, the voice whispered. I thought. I was the last. The crew of the Daegok held their breath. Inside the broken ship, a woman sat alone. Her name was Yoon. She had been the pilot of Daeguk 7. She had been asleep for 1,000 years. When the war came, she had been sent far away to keep the ship safe, to wait, to remember. She had woken once, 10 years ago. She had tried to call. No one answered. She thought she was alone. She thought she had failed. She had kept the ship alive by hand, by force, by love. She had fixed broken wires with her fingers. She had fed the core with frozen solar cells. She had sung to it every night. She had whispered to it like it was a child. And now, someone answered. She looked at the screen. The Daegok floated before her, whole, bright, alive. She touched the glass. I'm here, she whispered. Jin's voice came through, soft. We're here too. Tears fell down Yoon's cheeks. I thought I was the only one who remembered. Jin looked at his crew. We all remembered, he said. We just forgot, until now. The Daegok moved closer. That's docking arms reached out, gentle, slow, like a mother reaching for her child. The Daegok 7's hull groaned as the two ships touched. Metal met metal, steel, kissed steel, and then a sound, a low, deep hum, the kind you feel in your bones. The two ships began to glow, not with light, with warmth. The biohull of the Daegok stretched out like arms. It touched the broken hull of Daegok 7 and began to heal. It slowly, quietly, like a wound closing. Ice melted. The cracks sealed. The lights on Daegok 7 flickered, then came back, one by one. Then all at once, Yoon's voice came again. I can feel it. What? Tae asked. The ship, she said. It's happy. The crew of the Daegok stood together. They watched. They didn't speak. They didn't cheer. They just watched. Because this wasn't just repair, it was reunion. 1,000 years had passed. The galaxy had forgotten. Stars had moved. The wars had come and gone. But the ships had waited. And now they were together again. Mira looked at the screen. Do you think there are more? Jen nodded. There are. He looked at the wall. It was warm. Still pulsing. We're not alone anymore, she said. Tae grinned. Guess we've got a family now. Jin looked out the window, at the two ships, at the stars, at the silence. He whispered, we were never alone. Outside, the stars glowed. Far away, in another part of the galaxy, another ship stirred. Its lights flickered. Its core hummed. Its sensors woke. It yada-boo, picked up a signal, a song. 3 pulses. Pause. 3 pulses. It turned. It began to move. No one knew where it had been. No one knew who was inside. But it answered, because it remembered, and it was not alone. Back on the Daegok, Yoon stepped into the airlock. The door opened. She walked out. She was thin. Her hair was gray. Her eyes were tired, but she smiled. She saw Jin, saw Hae, she saw Tae, she saw Mira. She didn't know them, but she knew their hearts. She walked slowly toward them, and when she reached them, she didn't hug them. She didn't cry. She just placed her hand on Jin's chest and said, I'm sorry I took so long. Jin placed his hand over hers. You didn't take long, he said.